Because cash is one of the areas that interns and first years are typically given as one of their first audit tasks, I wanted to go over how we would actually test cash. So what we're going to do for each of our individual bank accounts held by a client, we're going to start with the bank reconciliation. So again, the bank reconciliation is prepared by our clients, and we're going to double check the information on there to make sure that the balance that they're showing for cash in that account is accurate. So we'll start with that bank reconciliation, and then we will look at that balance per bank that will be at the top of that bank reconciliation, and we can agree that amount with our confirmation. So the bank confirmation is that external piece of documentation that we're getting directly from the bank that says, yes, this is how much money they had in the bank with us. Then we are going to look at their deposits in transit. So what we will do here is go and look at that cutoff bank statement. That cutoff bank statement is from the first couple of days after year end. So if we had $10,000 deposit in transit on 12/31, we could look at that bank cutoff statement and see that on January 3rd, that deposit cleared the bank. So we would just be agreeing that amount that the client is showing as deposited in transit with some external piece of information, in this case, that bank cutoff statement. Then we can look at the outstanding checks. So we will find the outstanding checks listed on the cash disbursements journal, and we can also check for those on the bank cutoff statement. One thing to note is that while we would expect the deposits of transit to clear very close to that year end, with outstanding checks, we don't really have very much control over that. So we might send out the checks on December 31st and it might take a couple of days to get to their intended recipient, but we don't have anything that says they're going to deposit it within 3 days. So it might be possible that we could still have some outstanding checks that haven't cleared, which would not be as big of a deal as if we had outstanding deposits that didn't clear. Finally, we'll check the mathematical accuracy. We will add that balance per bank, take that balance per bank, add in the deposits in transit, subtract out the outstanding checks, and make sure that the math adds up. And then we will end up with our audited amount of cash for each individual account. We would then trace that amount to the cash lead sheet. If there's multiple bank accounts, the cash lead sheet is where we would see all of those compiled, and then the total cash should agree with what's shown on the trial balance. So that is a very quick overview of how we audit cash.